Have you ever noticed how some women act completely different when they realize they cannot control you? Not because you are cold, not because you are indifferent, not because you do not care, but because you are unmoved by their mood swings, their behaviors, their actions, and their attempts to control your behavior. And when a woman realizes that her beauty, her attention, and her effort do not have an effect on you, something shifts. She starts behaving in ways that are so predictable that once you understand the pattern, you will see it coming from a mile away. Today, I am going to break down exactly what happens when a woman realizes she has no power over you, and why her having no control over you actually makes you more attractive, more respected, and more dangerous in the best possible way. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote that what disturbs men's minds is not events, but their judgments about events. And this applies perfectly to the dynamic between men and women. When a woman tries to control you, she is not necessarily being malicious. She is testing your frame. She is trying to see if you are the kind of man who can be moved by her emotional waves. And when she discovers that you cannot be moved, she enters a psychological state that is both fascinating and predictable. The first thing she does is test you harder. She escalates her tests because if she cannot influence you with normal tests, she will apply more pressure. What does this look like? You will see fake arguments, dry texts, disrespect disguised as humor, things of that nature. She is not suddenly crazy. She is trying to answer one question in her head. Can I move him emotionally? Because throughout history, it has been a very dangerous position for a woman to not be able to have an emotional pull on the man she depends on or is in a romantic relationship with. But when she realizes she cannot, that is when she starts catching attitude. Her brain registers you as a man she cannot dominate, which actually makes her more attracted to you in the end because it shows that you have your own frame outside of her and that you are a safe force of nature for her to cling on to. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When a woman tests you and you remain unmoved, you are demonstrating that your mind is not for sale. You are showing her that her emotional weather does not dictate your internal climate. And that is a rare and powerful quality. The second thing she does is try to punish you with withdrawal. Women are very different from men in this way. Women like constant access, and they assume men like the same. So when she wants to punish you, she will withdraw in a way that she would expect would be a punishment for her. Less texting, less communication, not keeping tabs on you, complete distance. You might even feel relieved, like, wow, what a peaceful day. And she is thinking, I hope he notices that I have withdrawn my attention. She will leave you on red. She will stop complimenting you. She will stop initiating romantic affection. It is not about being busy. It is not about being disinterested. It is about testing whether you will fold when she takes her attention away. This is where most men fail. They panic. They over-apologize. They get frantic. They wonder, oh no, is she actually pulling away? Have I lost her? But this is precisely where men lose all leverage. She wants you to maintain your frame. Do not fold at this point, because when you do not chase, she begins to see you as more valuable, as higher value. The philosopher Seneca wrote that the greatest cure for the mind is trust in the one who is advising. And the greatest trust you can have is trust in your own frame. When you do not chase, you are telling her that your peace is not dependent on her presence. And that is a level of self-sufficiency that is deeply attractive. The third thing she does is try to make you jealous. This is the oldest trick in the book in terms of getting a man's attention using jealousy. If she realizes she has no power over you emotionally, she will try to get it over you socially. She will provoke you with seductive Instagram posts, gym thirst traps, and things of that nature. All things to pull you back in and make you feel like, hey, look at me. I am still good. I can replace you. There are many of you. But here is the truth. If there were truly many people of your same value interested, she would not have to do these things. She might go out late with her friends, dress up for girls' nights, go to bars more often, bring up an ex, or tell a story about a guy from work. This is where you have to remain calm and not fall for the tricks. It all leads back to you. She wants a reaction. And when you give her that, the chase is over. She registers you as boring. You failed the test. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus also taught that no great thing is created suddenly, and the same is true of your reputation as a man who cannot be manipulated. It is built through the accumulation of small choices, each one building on the last. Each time she tests you and you remain calm, you build that reputation. Each time she withdraws and you do not chase, you build that reputation. And as you build it, it becomes part of who you are. A man with true dominant nature does not fall for these things. He does not reward attention-seeking behavior. Because you cannot have a happy relationship with a woman who values attention and testing you over a happy, peaceful relationship and communication. If you do not react, she either spirals into a deep, dark path of attention-seeking, or she respects you more. It is a win-win for you. If she does the first, you lost a woman who was not worth your attention. If she does the second, you gained respect. Nothing is more valuable than that in a man's world within dating. The fourth thing she does is switch from sweet to competitive. Suddenly, it is one-upping you. It is nagging you. It is all these little critiques. Oh, I can do this without you. Oh, I went and got my oil changed even though you said you would do it. I can do it. All of a sudden, she is the girl boss in full effect. She is not trying to connect anymore. She feels she cannot. She is now trying to dominate. She wants you to fall in line. Because a lot of women show up to relationships with the illusion of wanting a dominant man, but what they really want is a man who follows their idea of dominating, of being an alpha. If you do not fit her perfect, romantic, false narrative of what a man should lead like, then she does not respect you. She is not really submissive. She has a role in her head that she needs you to fill. And if you do not stick to your script, you are gone. Here is the thing you might miss. A woman who respects you will still test you sometimes. It is female nature. But she will keep it classy. She will not try to humiliate you to feel powerful. That is the difference. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman's thoughts are colored by the need to dominate, her behavior reflects that. But when she respects you, her thoughts are colored by admiration, and her behavior reflects that too. The fifth thing she does is try to control the story, the narrative about you. This is where you will see gossiping about you, spreading rumors, labeling you narcissistic online, sharing sad posts, running to everyone to tell them about the breakup and what you did wrong. She is rewriting the dynamic to protect her ego. She wants to label you as toxic to protect her fragile ego. She would rather believe you are toxic and narcissistic than accept that she had no true emotional pull over you. She had no leverage. Powerless people always try to rewrite the story to feel powerful again. There is nothing worse to a woman than having no power over the man she wants power over. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote that fire is the test of gold and adversity of strong men. When a woman tries to rewrite the narrative about you, she is testing your character in a different way. She is seeing if you will defend yourself, if you will get drawn into her drama, or if you will remain steady and let the truth speak for itself. The man who can withstand that test is a man who has been forged in fire. Two things can happen. Outcome A, she respects you more. If she is emotionally healthy, she will think he is solid, he is disciplined, he is not bothered by my emotional nature and my tests. He is strong-willed. She will become more calm, more feminine, more cooperative, because you have proven you are a man she cannot manipulate, only earn. Outcome B, she leaves. If you prove you are not a toy that she can control anymore, you are no fun. Not because you are boring, but because you are not reactive. And reactive men are easy men. These are men you can extract resources out of, you can extract attention out of, you can get your emotional toxic needs met by whenever you want. By sending a mean text, by posting a thirst trap, anything like that, you get that emotional dopamine hit of a reaction from a man, which is like catnip to the female brain. Your goal as a man is not to win games against women, especially not power games. Your goal is to become the kind of man who communicates through his behavior and his words that power games are purposeless here. They have no effect on me. She either upgrades how she treats you or she exits. Either way, it is a win for you. Look out for these things. Put an end to it before it starts. If you are not married, walk away. Do not even tolerate it. Do not communicate. There is no need. If you are already seeing these toxic signs, it is too late. there is some fundamental damage. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus wrote that if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. When she tries to control the narrative about you, when she labels you toxic, when she gossips, let her. Be content to be thought foolish, because the truth will always reveal itself to those who are patient enough to wait for it. When a woman realizes she cannot control you, it is not the end of something. It is the beginning of something. Either the beginning of her respect for you or the beginning of her exit. Both are good outcomes, because a man who is controlled by a woman is not a man, he is a puppet. And puppets are never truly loved, they are only used. The moment you become a man who cannot be controlled, you become a man who can be truly chosen. Not out of convenience, not out of desperation, but out of genuine desire and respect. That is the goal. That is what you are building. And that is what makes you dangerous in the best possible way. So, look out for these behaviors. Do not fall for the tricks. Remain grounded. Remain steady. And watch as the dynamic shifts in your favor. If this video gave you a new perspective, let me know in the comments. Have you experienced any of these behaviors? How did you handle them? I read every comment. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next one. I will see you right here. Stay grounded, stay present. And remember, the most dangerous man is the one who cannot be controlled. Be that man.